Will you all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Antoinette, can I get a roll call?
Mr. Cook?
Here.
Mr. Rogan?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here. Don't hear anybody else. Somebody like to audit the bills?
I will make the motion to approve abstract number 13 dated July 14, 2017, in the amount of $360,855.84. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Councilman Burns could not be here with us tonight. He did send a letter. I'd like to read it. I apologize for my absence from the town board meeting today. As many of you know, I work full-time as an attorney for Farmers Insurance Group. Farmers has sponsored a program called Farmers Cares for Communities. I signed up to volunteer for this program earlier in the year, and I was recently advised that I was chosen to participate in the program. As a result, I will be spending 2 weeks in New Jersey volunteering with the St. Bernard Project Initiative. The St. Bernard Project was founded in New Orleans after the damage from Hurricane Katrina. Its focus is to provide assistance to those who are uninsured and lost their homes in hurricanes. I will be working with other volunteers rebuilding homes that were damaged in Hurricane Sandy around Seabright, New Jersey. I look forward to sharing my experiences with you when I return from this volunteer effort. Thank you for your understanding. Kevin Burns.
Good
We wish
man.
Kevin well and
Here, here.
yeah,
Good man.
absolutely. Always great to volunteer like that. All right. Councilman D'Andriano is also not with us tonight. He's got some work-related things that he's dealing with.
Injury.
Wasn't going that far. Charlie.
Okay. First, we have recreation request from Matt Chabaro, our recreation director. He's requesting approval from the town board to start a soccer squirts program for 3 to 5-year-old children in the fall. It would take place over at Memorial Field in Putnam Lake, and the Putnam Lake Park District Board supports the idea of using the field for this program. And he also asked, he would like approval to hire Paul Farrell, a junior staff member, at the rate of $9 per hour. Paul currently serves as a lifeguard for the Putnam Lake Park District. So I will make a motion that the town board approve the startup of this soccer program for 3 to 5-year-olds in the fall, and the hiring of Paul Farrell as a junior staff member at the rate of $9 per hour. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Next, we have a request from our highway department, from Russ Goff, to put out for bids, and which we did, and the highest bidders coming back to approve the sale of a 2004 International Dump Plow Truck and a Cat 936E loader in the amount of $25,600, and the truck is $35,100. And we have a resolution covering that, so I will make a motion that the town board approve this resolution as read. So moved.
Can I get a second for discussion?
Second for discussion.
All right, just so the board members all are aware and all the public is aware that these were put up on Auctions International, and I did review all the various bids that were submitted, so it was a fair bidding process. So if anybody has any questions. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
I don't know if, Charlie, if you'd said this, but of the 3 items put up, we're only selling 2 at this time.
2,
One,
yeah.
Russ believes we can get more money for the item, so we're holding back. So it's just lot number 1 and
3.
lot number 3. Okay, just making sure that.
Yep.
Great.
Next, we have Gardner Road as for a stormwater project, and the road, this is the one we talked about last time, or that one?
Yes.
Okay, so that piece of property there, we need a title search,
Yes.
and Don, your firm would make that happen?
They're gonna coordinate it.
Yeah, okay. Yep, I got that, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will make a motion that the town board authorize Hogan and Rossi to pursue a title search and report relative to Gardner Road in an amount not to exceed $400. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that it, Charlie?
That's it.
Sean, you're up.
Okay, first item we have is the yearly approval for the maintenance contract for our telecommunications system here for town. We have a resolution approving the yearly contract for Voice America for an amount not to exceed $1,584. So I'll move that we approve the resolution to continue our service with Voice America for our telecommunications service contract. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Putt Lake Park District has been very busy this summer. They have events going on. We've mentioned before, we have actually the National Night Out coming out on August 1st, which is Tuesday night, which will be a great event. And they are moving onward and upward with some of their projects. We have a request via non-bid procurement to purchase 10 tons of red clay for use in their fields. Low bidder was Jazz Carrier and Sons at a amount not to exceed $945 or $94.50 per ton. So I'll make a motion that we approve that request form. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We also have a note from the park board requesting to hire a new lifeguard, Alexander Lochner-Bertone, who will be coming in this week to see Sue for paperwork. Has all completed. So I'll make a motion based on the recommendation of our park board that we hire Alexander Lochner-Bertone as a new lifeguard for the Putt Lake Park District, effective immediately. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
There was also a request in here to appoint a gentleman as a head guard starting in August, and there was some accumulation of hours. I'm assuming that was done because of our discussion of the requirement for having 100 hours as a head guard. That has not been met yet. So would we like this?
Well,
we haven't made the change.
current
either.
policy is they have to work for 3 seasons.
Okay.
We somewhat flexed that policy a couple of meetings ago, recognizing the state only required 2 years.
Correct. So considering we haven't changed the our guidelines yet for the number of hours, and we've had, there's a lot of discussion going on with that about what we're ultimately going to approve. Would we like to entertain approving Tim Catalano to be a head guard starting in August, considering this is his 3rd year with us? And that,
I don't have a problem with this.
okay, so I'll make a motion to approve Tim Catalano, who is currently a guard with us, to serve in the capacity of a head lifeguard starting August 1st on an as-need basis. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And in Mr. Burns' absence, I know I'll never do this justice, but I'll try my best. We have 2 budget requests, or budget transfer requests for this meeting. First one is budget transfer request number 25. Basically, this budget transfer is necessary to reallocate funds for the EMS department for the purchase of the stretcher for the 2nd ambulance. So the request is to move $43,000 from the expense account for ambulance contractual to the ambulance equipment and capital outlay. The second is a reallocation of funds for the rec department, and this is for the work that we had approved for the air conditioning system. So we'll need to move $12,500 from contingent account to the recreation building equipment and capital outlay. So I'll make a motion, we approve budget requests and transfers 25 and 26. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have
Anything else?
nothing else, thank you.
Okay. First on my agenda is Patterson Chamber of Commerce. It is with deep regret that we have learned that they will no longer be functioning. They are going out of business. There was a sum of money that they had in their account, sum of $6,939.18 that they have offered as a donation to the town of Patterson for the installation of a concrete bench. I, for one, asked them not to go out of business. I think it's very important for the town to have a strong chamber. I know they were having some issues. It was basically the same people year after year without a lot of support running the chamber. So I had worked out an agreement with the chamber that the town would hold the money for a period of 2 years, along with the rest of the town board. We worked out with the chamber that we would hold the money for a period of 2 years in the hopes that the chamber would start back up and there would be seed money there for them to get going again. And after the 2-year period, then we will use the money to put a bench in. We do have a resolution here prepared by the town attorney laying all that out for us. So with some regrets, I would like to move this resolution and ask that it be entered into the minutes as read. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next. Matt Jabbar, our recreation director, is responsible for taking care of the ball field out at the landfill where we are running leagues. He has been doing the maintenance on the field with a very old tractor which went to heaven this year, or this week.
Tractor heaven.
Tractor heaven. And he has asked that we purchase something to replace it. He initially came in looking for just another beat-up old tractor. I know at the same time the Park Advisory Board for Veterans Park has been considering buying an ATV, and I met with both the head of the Park Advisory Board, Joe Downey, Tyler, and Matt, and we have worked out a scenario where they would be sharing the ATV for doing maintenance over at the park, and then for doing maintenance, actually maintenance for the ball field at the park, as well as maintenance for the ball field at the landfill. So we have a couple of proposals for you. We've looked around at a used ATV. We have found one over at Herman's Performance. Joe worked with Herman's and has gotten the price down to $2,779. The ATV is a 2004, 13 years old, and that leaves me somewhat concerned. There's no warranty with it. We're purchasing it as is. We have also looked around. I had Margo over at Highway do some investigation into a new unit, and rather than ATV, we can purchase a UTV. We have a number of different prices that go anywhere from $73, $85, $81.51 for a new Kubota, and they go on up. We have a few prices in here for John Deere. So, my first question to the board is, what would you like to do with regard to a new machine? Whether you would like to purchase a new one with a warranty, or a used one, and see how it works before we make any sort of further investment. And then, would you like to consider this machine?
Well, Charlie and I have both been part of a lot of conversations with the Veterans Park Board, because this is something that's been on their radar since the changeover from the previous park caretaker, who used his own personally purchased four-wheeler for the park, to the new park caretaker that we have, Tyler, who does not have one. And it seems that having an ATV for the park, not only for dragging the sand in the beaches, but also for picking up garbage instead of using the more expensive Skag mower, has been something that's been very beneficial. I will also say, as you know, Joe Downey, our Veterans Park Advisory Board Chair, is very concerned with saving money. He's also a professional mechanic, as is Tyler, the person that we hired as our park caretaker. They both looked at this machine and said, we think it would be just right and we can save some money. So while it doesn't have a warranty, I have a lot of confidence in those two men because of their abilities. So I think given that for their purposes, they believe an ATV would be better than a UTV in the sense that they don't need something that big. I think at this time, if this can meet the requirements of what Matt would like to do, maybe we try this and then maybe next year we, if Matt needs something different, we pursue that, because with the government bid, we can get a pretty good price on them. But I think for the park, I'm not as familiar with Matt's needs for the ball fields, but they seem pretty similar to dragging the beaches. For the park, an ATV like this I think would be perfect. They're quiet, they're fuel efficient, and I think the price is very competitive. These things, a brand new one, they run the same price as what you had, anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000,
Sure.
and even more, which is an unnecessary expense at this time for the park. I think the sharing issue of how they have to transport it back and forth is going to take a little bit of coordination. Personally, I'd prefer they each had their own, because I think that the park, it's taken the dump trailer and going and picking up garbage from the cans on an every other night basis. So I think it's one of those things that they need, and we don't want them towing around a trailer with the Skag mower, because that is a more vital piece of equipment.
Yes.
That's what they have sometimes done in the past.
Yeah.
And you can't drag the beaches with the Skag mower. It doesn't have the four-wheel drive, and it's not.
No.
So I'm supportive of this, because I believe, again, that we have the two best candidates to take care of the darn thing.
Oh, yeah.
And
The ATV actually works out better for Matt with the ball field than a UTV would actually probably work out better for Tyler.
For the
It would be-
garbage and
Yeah,
stuff.
for the
Yeah.
not only for the garbage, he'd still want to pull the trailer, but for, pulling tools around, if he wants to
Yeah.
go out and trim the brush over at the other side of the pond, for raking out the ball field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throwing a chainsaw in the
Yeah.
back and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that I'm happy that they're thinking about cost containment and trying to do something within a reasonable price.
and that they're willing to work together,
Yeah.
and they both feel it will work for them. Now, would this come out of capital money, or?
It would be split between the two departments.
Oh, that's pretty nice. Yeah.
We're also going to have to buy a hitch for Dennis's, which would come out of general fund
Right.
for the truck, and we would buy a trailer.
Yeah.
We've looked at some trailers over at Tractor Supply.
I think Sean made a good point too, well, a couple of good points. One about Joe being a mechanic and Tyler being a mechanic, so if we do buy this one without a warranty and it's used, et cetera,
As I
they'll
explained,
keep it going.
as I explained to them, I don't have a problem. I think it's,
Yeah.
just prudent to
not big
have
money.
Tyler doing light maintenance on some of these machines, taking care of them. But for the most part, if anything big breaks, I want to take it to a dealer.
Sure.
Who knows
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't want Tyler sitting there tearing apart engines and taking his time
Right,
up
right.
doing
In
that.
fairness, if this thing needs a huge repair, it's probably you're talking about a
do it.
$2,700
Yeah.
machine. It's a throwaway, and then you go buy a new one.
That's
I mean,
right.
It's not. You've seen some of the repair bills we get for
Absolutely.
chainsaws, right?
Well,
And
yeah, I've got a
So-
story for you later.
Okay, so I'm good with buying this.
Sean, then it will
It's
go
been
on the
properly
auction
vetted.
list.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
yes.
Um,
One of the things I did talk to Tyler about today is, if we're gonna trailer this, buying one of those canvas tents, putting it up right in the parking lot over at Veterans Park, keeping this in the canvas tent, so you could drive it out the back, just drop the trailer, drive it out the
Parking
back.
lot?
Yeah, and then if you needed to move it over, you just pull in the front, hook it up to the ball and go. So he's gonna think about that.
Okay,
So you want to go with the lesser?
I think so.
I'm okay with it.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion, we approve the purchase of a 2004 Polaris Sportsman 4x4 ATV for an amount not to exceed $2,779. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next on my agenda is a building department request. We have kind of a sticky situation in that a resident bought a piece of property and is claiming a farm use on it, which on the surface doesn't appear to be a farm use. And actually, the attorney for the seller made the claim. And so I've talked about it with Bob a little bit, and we think it might be prudent to have our town attorney weigh in on whether there's a legitimate farm use out there. And, you know, how we should proceed with some of the claims that some of the activities out there are either pre-existing or a farm use that should be continued. There's going to be a charge for that.
I think we need to be on the forefront of this conversation, though. It's money well spent now rather than chasing it later.
So you're in agreement? All right, so I'd like to make a motion to authorize town attorney to review the status of 351 Cornwall Hill Road and render back to the building department and town board an opinion on the agricultural use of the property as well as the existing structures out there, whether they're pre-existing non-conforming or they need to be removed or modified in some way.
We'll need the subdivision plat, which I know that.
We'll get you all that. I've got it.
And a resolution of approval, yeah.
Yep.
We'll talk about it.
Okay. All in favor?
Is that a motion?
That was a motion.
Second.
All-
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving right along. Executive session personnel, we're going to take off the agenda because the personnel issues have been resolved. Other business. We do have a little bit of other business here. Anybody want to take it, or you want to just keep going?
We have a request from our EMS administrator to attend an EMS day in the Albany Medical College. It's a $25 registration fee and travel, so I'll make a motion we approve that request for a sum not to exceed $139.59, including tolls and mileage reimbursement. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any other business?
Oh,
All right.
I do have one.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it was a couple months back, we had a brief conversation about veterans exemption.
Yes, I've got to work up the law.
Okay. If you speak to the right people and bring it on back, I think it'll be
Yes.
a great
At this
thing.
point, we have till, I think, middle of January to get it done, so we've got a little time.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay, I would like just to announce that August 1st, over at Putnam Lake Memorial Field, there will be National Night Out. The Putnam Lake Park District invites you to attend its second National Night Out on Tuesday, August 1st, 2017. The event will be held from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., 293 Haviland Drive. It was a great event. There's a lot of useful information out there about safety and security, and I would encourage everybody to come out and meet your neighbors and enjoy a great night out.
We'll be there.
Okay. Any other business?
No, sir.
Public recognition. You're up.
Say something?
Yes.
Pick it up?
Yep, you have to get up. Yep, if you could just stand at the mic, because that's how we get you on the camera. And give us your name.
Okay, my name is Leonora Marakai. Is the part where I tell you? Okay, I wanted to talk to you guys about an issue we've been having in the lake with the softball league on Sundays.
Yes.
I know that my boyfriend has called once. I've emailed and left a voicemail, but I haven't heard back.
Is your boyfriend by any chance Nick?
Yeah.
We talked.
You have talked to him? Okay. I have printed out here, there's a Putnam Lake Facebook page that the whole community voices their concerns and everything. One of the people who live near the lake actually voiced his concern about the guys being in the baseball field being in the middle of the road and not moving out of the way when he was driving by. I don't know if you want papers, there's a lot.
I'm up on the Facebook, so I'm
Oh, so
familiar.
They deleted it.
So,
it's gone now, but-
did they really?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, yeah, no, I did, catch most of it. And then right after that, Nick, you called, and then today I talked to your father.
No, okay.
Okay, so, I have talked to Pat Ploger, who is the head of the Park District.
Okay.
I have talked now to Joe D'Elia, who runs the league. And I've made them aware of the situation and told them they need to get it in check. And we are reaching out to the Sheriff's Department and letting them know as well.
Okay.
We will all be cognizant of the situation. We will try to monitor it as best we can, and hopefully the message will be sent.
All right, well, the thing is, I've called the sheriff, well, I've called the State Department before, the state troopers. They've driven by, they've stopped and talked, but the fact, I understand not being able to do anything about the fireworks unless they see it happening, but them all standing in the middle of the road drinking when it's illegal in New York State, illegal according to you guys in parks, and it's illegal in their league, but somehow they all get away with it. And they're not like quietly drinking, they're
Yes.
all very loud, obnoxious.
Yes. As I explained to your father today, I mean, this has been a running problem with both the state police and the sheriffs that, you know, they will go out onto a scene and they will tell people that they have no ability to enforce the town code. So we worked with our attorney a few years back and changed our town code. So there was no question that they have the ability to enforce it if they so desire. But then it comes back onto them that they have to have the desire to, you know, take an action under our town code. So I'm reaching out to the sheriffs. They're usually a little bit more receptive to working with the town than the state police, though, you know, I have nothing bad to say about the state police. They've always been great working with us.
The only reason I called them over the sheriffs is because I know a lot of them are friends with the men who go play at the softball league, so they won't actually do anything when they go down there.
Just because I'm just now hearing this for the first time, you've had the benefit of, I think Charlie and I are a little confused on this. So this is a organized softball league that uses the field
On Sundays.
and on Sundays. And some of these people unfortunately are hanging out and causing problem in the community. If we can identify which people they are, I think they should just be yanked from the league and tell them.
Well, I have
bags.
pictures of them. If they're not
I
on the
wouldn't.
league playing, they have their team shirts. in
We're
the
not
road
creating
drinking.
leagues to make money in this town. It's to provide a benefit,
Yeah.
a recreational benefit.
When
If
the
that
Little
takes
League-
away from our community, I don't care. I don't want the league. I would to
Exactly.
do away with the league.
When the Little
You
League
know,
plays, like,
do away
during
with
the
that
week.
team, if nothing else.
The question is what we're going to do next year. I mean, that's a bigger
Okay.
question. There's only a few weeks left. They're starting the playoffs now. This is a privately run league that we're leasing the field to.
No, I would get back in touch with the organizer of the event and say, if you don't get your people under control, this is not. I'll just.
I think they
refund
should
their
be
money and be
suspended.
done with
And I
it.
did that after talking to
Yeah.
Nick. He was my
Yeah.
second call. Pat was my first.
Yeah.
Because you can see from some of the things I printed out, a lot of the players basically saying, we don't care, we can do whatever we want, wherever we want. And the
They
Cubs
go to
can
somebody
come,
else's
but
community and
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
ball also. I don't want them, you know.
when the Little League plays, they're great. Little kids, the parents all come and watch, they're all respectful. You get loud during a game, I get it, but when you're screaming profanities at the top of your lungs because you're wasted,
Yeah,
that's a little
it's-
different.
No, we can't accept that.
I also, just so you know, got a few complaints right around 4th of July where they were actually shooting off fireworks on the field.
Every
Some of them-
weekend,
Yes.
not just 4th,
You said
every
this is
single
Sunday.
weekend.
This is Sunday nights.
Yep, every
Sunday
single
night?
Sunday they're lighting
What
off
time is it?
Emmys. Still.
Oh,
What time is the league?
I'm sorry.
I'd like to, when you're done, I'd like to speak as well.
Okay.
She's one of the ones we've talked about it.
okay.
Do I have to go to the mic or
You
can I?
You do have to go.
Okay.
We need to
So-
get your smiling face on camera.
Yes. League just plays
So, my
Sundays.
name is Denise Cambria, and I've lived in Putnam Lake for over 20 years. And it's never been an issue. Clean fun, you want to play ball, I'm okay with it. You loud, great. This year has been the worst
Wow.
of 20 years that I've lived where I've lived. Twice. And I've called. I've called out to 22, I believe that's the Trooper Barracks.
Yep.
And they do come out, but they are not as helpful. So if I have to go to the one in Carmel to state a complaint, I will. My issue is, on 2 occasions, 4th of July, an individual drove by intentionally, as driving by, and threw an explosive out of the window. We couldn't get the license plate, but it was a gray Mercedes SUV. My neighbor had contractors working on her roof. They almost fell off because it scared the hell out of him. It was that loud. It shook everybody's house in the neighborhood. Everybody came out. The dogs, everybody's dog in the neighborhood was going crazy. We couldn't get a picture, couldn't get a license plate, nothing. This past Sunday, I was at work. I work with intellectually disabled adults. My daughter was home. My daughter calls me in a panic. Now, and I'm still so angry and upset. Someone drove by and threw, at the time we didn't know what it was. We were told, because I called from my cell phone, I was in Yorktown at my job, to the police station to ask them to please go to my house because someone again drove by and threw an explosive. It was so loud. A friend of mine that I went to high school with from Brewster, who lives coming out of the ball field, if you make the left, past Lakeshore, they're right there on Haviland. They could hear the explosion from their house. It turned out to be a fire extinguisher. So they took it. I said to my daughter, put on gloves, go down to Alta Police. I told them you're there. Go wake up my husband. He was power washing our steps. He went to take a nap. I said, wake him up so you have an adult present. I can't leave from where I am to get to you. So they spoke to the police. My husband was a little upset because some of the things were like, well, we really can't do anything. We're gonna do our best. We haven't been asked to come out here. Maybe we can send somebody on a Sunday to patrol the area. I don't wanna take away from anybody's fun. But when you have children in the area, and my children now, instead of going to beautiful basketball courts, my child doesn't prefer to go there. Older, and she's 14, she shouldn't. But I do provide my children with a basketball hoop so they can shoot hoops at the bottom, off right by the road. They're afraid to go down there now because they don't know who's gonna drive by, who's gonna throw an explosive out, what it's gonna be. My concern is that somebody is gonna get seriously hurt, and that's a violation of their rights.
Sure.
They shouldn't be afraid to go out and play.
You don't need to convince us why it's important. This is unacceptable behavior. You know, you don't have to.
Now,
it's not whether or
I
not
did on that Facebook page, you'll see my comment, and I was very professional, very nice, and I'm all about having fun. I'm all about, you wanna shoot off fireworks on
Do it at your own house.
the 4th of July,
Right.
that are not gonna hurt anybody, that everybody can enjoy.
Yeah,
Great, but not explosives.
sure.
When the trooper was at our house, you could hear them still going off, where they actually turned and looked, and I said, it sounded like that, but louder. It was so loud, I had my central air on and the windows closed. It was so loud, I ran out of the house the first time to go see what was going on. But that's my biggest concern, why I came here today.
All right, I would say this. We have an emergency number. If you can call into town hall, if you experience any more explosions, any more drunken behavior out there, call in 845-878-6500. Leave a message on extension 32.
845.
Yep.
Hold on, I want to make sure I have it. 845-878-3800?
65.
Extension 32. 6500, extension 32.
Okay.
All right? And leave a message. And what that does, you won't be able to get to anybody, but what that does is when you leave a message, it starts dialing out. And it starts with me, and then I think it goes to Sean.
Okay.
You know, it starts till it gets one of us,
Okay.
and then we'll respond.
What also, the Putnam Lake has such a great neighborhood watch program. Is that something that you said you mentioned to Pat, but it seems like that would be a great thing that group knows about, you know?
You know what, too, Sean, we should bring it up Tuesday night with the sheriff.
Tuesday night?
Night out.
Oh, perfect.
Let's hope it doesn't
Yeah.
go that long.
Because honestly, on Sundays in the lake, not a single cop, ever, ever.
It's because you're so well behaved over there
Well,
normally.
Well, I agree with Sean that, you know, if they don't behave themselves,
Yeah,
we just
I agree.
Honestly,
not sign them up again.
I didn't even want to come tonight solely because the last time I complained, we had beer bottles thrown out our car. The first time, it was Sunday night, we came home, beer bottles thrown out the car. We were like, okay, could be kids, letting it go. Second time, was 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Again, Sunday night.
I'm
Also-
very, very sorry that you're having to experience
Yeah.
this, but
It's not your fault.
let's,
Well, also, everybody seems to be carrying phones these days. If you get anything on video, that's certainly going to
I have
help.
pictures of them.
No, I mean, in terms of picture of somebody doesn't prove anything wrong. We have lots of police people, certainly in the back of the room, that know more about what is needed than I would. But we actually already had conversation with the sheriff's office recently, Charlie knows, about illegal ATV riding over by our other park, Veterans Park, over on Maple Avenue, and they're stepping up their patrols on the specific times. So we certainly will reach out to the Sheriff's Department, and regardless of what the state police do, the Sheriff's Department is our local police agency, and we certainly can ask them to, especially on Sunday nights. We have a defined amount of time here, so it's, it's not even saying it every night, it's a particular time. And I think it's completely unacceptable. I'm not, I like that we offer baseball and softball, but not at that expense. It's not worth it. I'm not, again, we're not doing that to make money as a town. We're doing it to provide recreational opportunities. And that's completely unacceptable.
Listen, they've been told that any more problems out there between now and the end of the season, then next year it's off.
I think Sunday night I'm gonna go check out the softball league and see
They
how we're
start at
doing.
like 9 a.m., so.
Oh, it's all day?
No, it goes all day.
Wow. Well, when are the problems all day, or more towards the end of the day when they've been?
10:30, 11, they like.
3 o'clock is
start.
Yeah.
when you really start hearing it go off.
Okay.
Yes. Later in the afternoon
Okay.
is when it gets a little bit more rowdy, and
All right.
I understand the parking. I'm not even complaining about any of that, because there are many ways. If it's a problem, you can go around the other way, go Ravine and go Lakeshore to get out.
Yeah.
It's not a big issue. Like I said, the explosive is.
We're
Because
hearing you,
that's-
but unfortunately our record is not hearing you right now because you're not
Oh.
using the microphone.
Sorry.
And that gentleman in the back of the room who is charged with getting this all on film is giving us the eyeball that says that, yeah. You can continue speaking, just stand up and use the mic.
No, because it's repetitive, sorry.
We got
It's
it.
just the explosive.
I
That was
thank you
my
for
biggest
bringing this to our
concern. Someone's
attention.
gonna get very hurt.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening, Rich Reinhardt, 293 Farm to Market Road, good evening. I'd like to thank the board for videotaping the meetings, Southeast and Putt Valley and Beekman videotape their meetings, which is great. I wish the county legislature would do theirs. My wife and I attended the library concert last Wednesday, it was really great. And it's nice that the volunteers and the staff provide that to the community. And I'd like to know the status of the proposed commercial zoning, proposed development on 311 past west of 84.
Patterson Crossing?
Yeah.
Patterson Crossing is still in court. They challenged the zoning board and the planning board's decision. They challenged that at the Supreme Court down in Westchester. The town and the developer prevailed. The individuals that have been fighting this project since 2009 have appealed it. So we are stuck back in nowhere land. For anybody who is not savvy with how the court system works, they filed a challenge. That gives them till the middle of January to file an appeal. It's not unusual to see 60 to 90-day extensions granted by the court after that. Then all the papers have to be submitted. That takes a few more months, and then it's 18 months to 2 years for a decision. Correct?
Correct. They filed a notice of appeal.
Yeah.
They have a certain period of time to, what they call perfect the appeal, which is
So-
get their briefs and arguments together. But in effect, they filed a notice of appeal of the decision, and they thereby continue to stall the project, and they have a certain period of time till January, basically, to what's called perfect the appeal. So the filing of the notice of appeal was, it's a single piece of paper, so a very easy thing for them to do. So we sit and wait to see if they submit further documents. But as Rich said, it's typical that it would be several months after that.
All right, thank you for service.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.